I'm going to jump into the book of Luke. Would you go with me to the book of Luke? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Dr. Luke is who he is. He is a Greek doctor who was one of the apostles, and he followed Jesus around, and he was a medical man, a man of science of his day. Now, please understand that the level of medical skills that Luke had, probably any of us here today are advanced over what he had, but they did the best they could in those days, and he was a studied man. Maybe they were smarter than I think, I don't know, but I just know they probably weren't first world medical type people. But we're going to study his word for just a little while. I'm going to deal with an issue. We just came out of the book of James, and I've been praying about where to go, and I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet. And as I was preparing and trying to think where to go, the Lord said, now, I'm not going to tell you yet where you're going, but I want you to go to Luke and preach on sanity. I'm going to preach on restoring sanity to our world. I don't know how long it'll take me. How am I ever going to get you all sane? I don't know how we're going to do it. But I'm going to preach on sanity, restoring it. And now the 6th chapter of Luke, which we're going to start in the 27th verse tonight. We're going to pick up there, and then Sunday morning I'll pick up and move on from there. Luke 6, we'll start in verse 27. Odd kind of place to start, but I didn't want to get lost in the preliminaries of Luke and the genealogies. I wanted to get into the heart and to the meat of what Jesus had to say. By the way, we're now listening to what Jesus says. Now, these are red letter words tonight that I'll be preaching. We've been in James, we've been in Jude, and we've been in Jesus, both of his brothers. But now let's go to the real source and deal with what he may have to say. So if you're ready, we're going to start in the 27th verse of the 6th chapter of Luke. And I'm going to ask you a question before we begin tonight to sort of set the stage and begin to build a foundation for this thesis that I probably am going to present for you. I'm going to start by asking you a question. Is the world going crazy, or is it just me? Is it going crazy? Our world is going crazy. It's like, what could we do to make things worse, or make the worst decisions we could possibly do? And that's what we make. And that's what we do. Is it normal? Is it sane to go to war on our policemen?
No.
I mean, let's think about that a moment. The people that are there to protect us, to serve and protect us, and now we're going to go to war on them? Is that normal? That's not normal. And it's not even sane. I think it's insanity. What is normal or right about taking a weapon and randomly killing people in nightclubs and malls and airplanes and streets? What's normal about that? What's sane about that? Is it sane to kill babies in the mother's womb? I mean, is there sanity in that? To kill our own babies? Is it sane to believe our leaders when they lie to us over and over again? What's sane in our world? And they just, I don't want to get into that because that seems political, but my. We're going to be looking at the red letters for a while. I want to know what Jesus has to say about sanity, about restoring it to our world that seems to have completely gone crazy. And how do we get back to this? Now, when I begin to make this tonight and begin to make this thesis or this point that I'm going to be making, I'm going to tell you up front, it's going to be hard for you to swallow. I'm going to be talking about some things tonight that are going to be, that's not sanity. But I'm going to tell you, it is. What I'm going to preach to you tonight, and out of Jesus' own words, is true sanity. But in a world so messed up as our world is, Jesus' words seemed insane. They seemed unbelievably complicated and hard to even imagine. It's not common sense. It's not common practice. It's beyond, and it's above and beyond. Even, I don't know what to say, but just above and beyond what we could even think of. So we're going to be dealing tonight with some truly, truly difficult issues. and things that we're asked to do. We're not just asked to do them. Jesus said, this is what you will do. This is how you show yourself a Christian. This is how you, listen now, this is how you present yourself as sane. This is what normal sanity looks like. And it's going to be so warped out of what you're used to thinking about, it's going to take you some time, I believe, in prayer to catch up with some of these issues. So, Jesus is beginning his ministry. Here in about the 6th chapter, he's starting to preach, to travel around, to preach these world-changing truths to our world. And tonight we're going to listen to the words of the Master, and we're listening to truth. And it's truth that keeps a world together. It's sanity that makes sense in every culture, in every time, in every place. It is the words of wisdom that come to us out of the dark nightmare of craziness. So tonight I want you to come to these words of Jesus with a fresh appreciation for what he's going to tell us. And we're going to start in Matthew. I'm going to just read Matthew 24 to get started. Matthew 24:12, where it says, because of the multiplication of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. Because of the multiplication of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. What I'm trying to tell you tonight is, our love is cold. We've stopped having hot, burning, passionate love that Jesus called us to have. We have become covered over with insanity, with wickedness, with the multiplication of wickedness, to where it has cooled down our love to the point where we're not even normal anymore. In fact, we've become a little insane. And let's see if we can find our way out of this. There's not enough love in the world today to keep it from rotting. It's becoming putrefied and rotting like an old vegetable in the garden that the sun's been shining down on. We love ourselves too much. We're not going to be able to buy this tonight. Now, I know where I'm going with this. I really do. God's laid this on my heart. But I also know I'm not going to be able to convince us. That was the frustration I dealt with today as I was trying to prepare this message. I'm not going to be able to convince them because I can't convince me. But these are the words of Jesus. We love our others too little. We hate too much. We hate Muslims. We hate rioters. We hate pick-out cat. We just hate too much. We're so full of hatred. The multiplication of wickedness has caused a coldness to settle into our hearts. You wonder why Christianity is looked down on today as unimportant. It's because we're not living it. We're not living it. We're not doing what Jesus said to do. We're living just like the world. We're living like them. We hate like them. We abuse like them. Whatever. We just do too much. Jesus said the multiplication of wickedness. We've asked God to leave our country. We said, God, get out. Get out. We don't need you. Go. Leave our schools. Leave our institutions. We've replaced biblical values with wicked, politically correct concepts and perversions. Why are we allowing what we're allowing to happen in our world? Why are we not going to war? Why are we sitting back? I'm going to tell you why. Because we have become cold. We don't care that much. We say we do. We talk about it. It's fun to talk about it. But we don't move it from talk to action. Maybe the world has not seen enough real Christianity. Maybe that's what the problem is. What is it like? Okay, preacher, what is real Christianity like then? I mean, the real deal, what is normal? Well, okay, let's see what Jesus says. if you will now begin with me, and we're going to start in the 27th verse. But to you who are listening, I say, okay, when I was preparing this message, I ran by this the first time I went through. I ran directly into the comments that I was going to make. But then I went back and I said, whoa, that's the point right there. But you who are listening. Remember Jesus said, he that hath ears to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches or to whatever. And my point is, I think we've stopped listening. We've gotten cold, and so we're not listening. So he says, let me go back now and put it in context. But to you who are listening, I say, are you ready? Love your enemies.
That's right.
I told you wasn't going to buy it. I told you I wasn't going to be able to convince you, because I can't convince me. That Jesus said, love your enemies. Well, let's just stop a minute. Who are your enemies? Well, we all have different groups that we call enemy. Who are they? Well, okay, let's just name a few. Then I'm just going to shoot up in the air. I'll miss some of yours, but how about radical Islam? Do we love them? No, we don't love them. If we had them here, we'd shoot them right in the ear. Right? Well, I mean, let's be honest. So, what's wrong with us? We're cold. Okay, let's go on. Love your enemies and do good to those who hate you. Well, Lord, are you sure? I mean, do good to them that hate me? No, it's payback time, isn't it? Lord, I want to get them back. For what they did to me, I want to get them back. You know, turnabout's fair play and all that stuff. Do good to those who hate you. Verse 28. Bless those who curse you, and pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone steals or takes your coat, do not withhold from him your shirt. You see my problem? I've never had such a problem trying to preach a sermon before. Because you ain't buying it, and I'm not either. We don't want this. We don't want this. Come on. We say we do. We talk good. But when the nitty gets gritty and the rubber meets the road, and this stuff goes out the window. It's good for church, but it's not good for work. It's good for church, but it's not good for schools or home or the real world. Right? Is that what you're thinking? Well, maybe you're insane. And maybe I am. Because if I was sane, I would be thinking like the master who made me thinks. I'd be acting like the man who created me. That's sanity. It's insanity to live in a world so cold, so lost, so hopeless that we can't love an enemy anymore. And we can't do good to someone that mistreats us. We want to repay and get back at them. We don't want to turn the other cheek. You take a swing at me, here comes the right hook back. Right? Well, at church, it's good to do at church, but not in the real world. And if somebody steals something from us, well, we're going to go get it back. We're going to call the law. You see, we're going to do everything we can to restore what's ours. We're going to go back and get it. Well, Jesus said, no, don't get it back. Give him your shirt. If he steals your lawnmower, take him your weed eater.
Really?
Mm-hmm. What's insane? Is it insanity? Is it sanity to listen now? Is it sanity to create a neighborhood war over a lawnmower? Is it sanity to create a running feud in a family or in a neighborhood or in a church? Is it sane to create some stupid running feud because somebody sat in our pew or parked in our parking spot? Okay, you see my problem? Okay, I knew it was going to be a problem. Okay, Jesus said if you're able to hear what I have to say, then listen. Some of you tonight, some of us, won't be able to hear this. It won't stick. It won't go, it'll go in one ear and it'll come out the other. It has for thousands of years. It's not stuck because some of us aren't very sane. Love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. When slapped on the cheek, turn the other cheek also. When someone steals your coat, give them your shirt. Revelation chapter 2, verse 4 says these words. Speaking to a church there, explaining to them what was their problem. And he said to them, the only problem is you've left your first love. You've left your first love. You've given up on your love. You've left it. Okay, here's my challenge to me and to you. Let's just see if we can't do this radical stuff. Let's see if we can't tomorrow and the next day begin to put this, what seems like insanity, back into play and see if some real sanity can't be folded back into our lives. Because we are tired, we're burned out, we're beat up. We've tried grabbing and stealing and fighting our way and making sure nobody slaps me on the cheek without me getting back my... We've done that so long, we are exhausted spiritually. We're cold and we can't love somebody. We can't love the pure love that Jesus wants us to have for someone. Sanity also doesn't have a tight grip on possessions. Did you know that? Sanity doesn't hold tight to things. Insanity says to hold on tight to what you got. Don't let anybody get any of it. No way. Get it, cram it in, pack it down, invest it, and get rich, and just guard it. And
Can't take it with you.
Hold on. Verse 30. Verse 30. Give to everyone who asks you. Really? Give to everyone who asks. Okay. And if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you'd have them do to you. Jesus, I don't know. What are you thinking here? How can we possibly do that? How can we live like that? When robbed, we don't demand it back. We are to do to others as we'd like to be done to us. Well, we got that. We learned that in Bible school when we was kids. We got it. Do unto others as you'd have them do to you. We got that one, didn't we? Yeah, we got that one. Except we don't do it. That's the problem. We can quote it, we say it in church, and it's good for church, but it doesn't work in the real world, does it? Does it? It'd work if we tried it. How come we're not trying it? Because we love us too much. We love me, I love me, you love you. We're too much in love. And we want things right now. We're not willing to wait. Let's read verse 32. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? What does that do? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. The problem that I have and you have, I sense, is that we don't want to wait for our rewards in heaven. We want them now. We don't want to wait, because if we had to wait, that means we don't hold on to things tight. You see, here's the problem. Let's just cut to the chase. You ready? We either believe God can meet our needs, or we believe we have to meet our needs. We either believe God can meet our needs, or we have to believe only I can meet my needs. And if you believe that only you can meet your needs, then you can't turn the other cheek. You can't do unto others. You've got to grab it. You've got to cram it in and can it and pack it in and save it and invest it. Or if you believe Jesus can meet your needs and take care of you, you can go through your life with your hand open.
Right.
Not grabbing, not demanding, loving. Oh, you stole my lawnmower? Okay, no problem. The Lord gave it to me. He'll give me another one. If you love those, what credit is it? Jesus calls his people to do the unexpected. Jesus calls his people to go way past what is normal in human relationships. And the problem with the church and Christianity today is we're just like everybody else. There's no difference in the church than out of the church. Oh, we talk a good game in the building. We know our Bible verses. We know all the words to Amazing Grace. But when it gets into the real world, where the nitty gets gritty and the rubber meets the road, do we really live out these truths? We love people, but we love ourselves more. Here's what we need to know. Real Christians desire and want more than anything else in the world to be like Jesus. We want to be like him. But let's read verse 35. But love your enemies. Do good to them and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. That's not good banking, is it? It's not good financing. Lend and don't expect anything back. Well, what? Oh, I see. Then your reward will be great. And you'll be children of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. And oh my. We want it here or we want it there. You got to decide. Do you want to be in control of everything, or do you want the Lord to be in control of your life? You got to decide. You can't be both. You can't be what God wants you to be and not love your enemy and do good to those that don't do good to you, and be mean to those that steal from you and take things away from you. So we redeem this crazy world. This world's crazy. And how are we going to fix it? By becoming sane. By becoming people who have finally reached out and discovered what true sanity is. And true sanity is, the Lord can meet my needs. The Lord's going to take care of me. You steal from me? Fine. He gave me that one, I'll get another one. The Lord's going to take care of me. I'm going to just have my open hand. If I got something you need, it's yours. Why? Because it's not mine. It's just, I'm just using it for a while. You need it? It's yours. Or are you... Okay? Be merciful, verse 36, and I close. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Wow. Biggest failure of a sermon I've ever preached. Amen?
Amen.
Unless somebody, just one of you, just one of you decides you might want to try that for a while. I'm going to tell you what it'll do to you. It'll turn your world absolutely upside down. You will never be the same. You will have joy restored. You'll have peace like you've never had before. You'll start to love the unlovely. You'll love people that aren't like you. You'll learn to just, because the Lord is going to meet my needs. My hand is open. The Lord's going to meet my needs. I don't have to do this. He's in charge. And I can be merciful just as my Father is merciful.